And hello, good morning or good evening, everyone. Hello, thanks Nozarashi and Jeremy for the sub. Thank you, Freaky Boy. Hello. So for all my French followers, tonight will be a stream in English. So feel free to speak in whatever language you want in the chat, but I will only answer in English, right? Alright, so tonight we're going to try out InertiaJS with Adonis, but with their new SSR mode, which means we are going to do server-side rendering with Inertia within Adonis, alright? So for the people who don't know what is Inertia, it is a protocol to communicate between a backend and a frontend framework, alright? So currently I believe there is only 2 official backend frameworks supported. Yeah, that is Laravel and Rails. There's a community package for Adonis, and for client side there's Vue 2, Vue 3, React, and Svelte. Right. So the new SSR mode is only available for supporter of the Inertia project. If you want to try it out too, you need to be a sponsor of Jonathan, I believe. Yeah, you need to sponsor Jonathan on GitHub. It's $5 a month, so that's pretty cheap. And you will be able to try it out too, alright? So, let me check. So I will not show the documentation for this new mode on my main screen because it's paid stuff. Alright, so I have it on my second screen. And I will follow their tutorial and try to set it up inside an Adonis application. Okay. Their documentation show how to use Express, so it should be straightforward, I hope, between Express and our framework. Let me check something. Should be good. Let me know if the sound is like my microphone is too low or if the music is too high. Okay, so first we will create a simple blog application using Adonis. Then I'm going to add up Inertia into this, and at the end we're going to do server-side rendering. Okay, that's the plan for tonight. Hopefully I can fit that in 2 hours. We'll see. But let's get started. So to install Adonis, like always, so first let me change the folder here. What's inside Twitch? Perfect. So I'm going to use npm init, then AdonisJS app. I'm going to call that Inertia SSR. All good. Yes. Let me zoom in a bit too. Alright, should be enough. Perfect. And that's not the correct package, so latest and should be good now. Cool. So I'm going to use the web one. I don't care. Yes, and yes. Cool. So anyone on the chat has already used Inertia or don't know at all what it is, because I can explain first what it is, so you guys have a better thinking of what I will do tonight, and also know the drawbacks and the downside of using Inertia. Because Inertia is very good, but it has big downsides is SEO, because if you're using Inertia, it will be CSR rendering, meaning client-side rendering, meaning you lose all the SEO, and that could be not good at all. So this is why their new version will be like perfect, because you have like something like Next or Zipper inside a good backend framework like Laravel, Rails, or Adonis. So that's like, it just fits perfectly with how I like to build application, like big monolithic application. So that's perfect. And we'll see how it fits. This is going to be so good if it works well. In fact, because currently the issue with Laravel or Rails that there are not Node framework, right? But to render a front-end framework in a server, you need to have a Node framework, Node server running, right? It's like same thing for WebSocket, right? If you're using Laravel, you need to have like a Node server running to handle WebSocket correctly. But Adonis is a Node framework, meaning you will have nothing more running. Like you will only have your application, which is good. So yeah, let's see. So I'm going to open, I'm going to open inside Visual Studio the code, and let me zoom in a bit. Where it is, search, zoom, here we go, and I believe 1.7 should be enough. All right, so let me know if it's too small, but looking at the screen here, should be good. Never used. All right, cool. So let's see if it works. Node is serve -w, and it should start. And yep, cool. So let's see here. And all right, yeah, that's normal. So because it is compiling is done, and yeah, it works. Cool. So we have Adonis setup. Let me use the community package for Inertia. So inside the repository awesome Adonis, you have some packages, and there is one for Adonis Inertia, which is here. Cool. So we're going to follow their tutorial. All right, so install that. So let's open a second terminal, npm install this one, and then, well, this is wrong, but whatever. Installed Node.js. Now we need to use configure. I believe invoke work, but it's not the correct command, and the package name. So select the view we'd like to use app. All right, we'd like to install ES, and we're going to use React. I wanted to use Svelte, but it's not currently working with the new SSR version. So everything is installed. We're going now to look at what it created. So a file inside the config folder, and here we are only returning app, right? Then we have a template with an inertia tag here, all right? And it just added a few configuration stuff, all right? Whereas also that, so what this is doing, so let me save, so remove all these semicolon. Inertia share, all right, so this tells Inertia to share the session flash messages. Now I'm thinking, if there is no session, like I don't believe I have the session package installed, will it fail? Oh, I have it. All right, so no, should be good. All right, cool. So I believe I'm ready to use Inertia. Okay, let's follow the doc, making an Inertia response. So it injects Inertia inside the context, and then I can use inertia.render to render a page. Seems perfect. Root helper. Right. Yes. Seems so good. Cool. So let's see now. So say my roots file. I'm displaying the welcome page. So if I'm going here to view, I want now to render the app view instead of the welcome one, right? So that was the welcome. I'm rendering the app, and I need also to add those two tags here that will inject the CSS and the front-end JavaScript. And I believe that's it. Cool. So let me delete that. Save, and let's see if here there's any error. Cannot read property replace of undefined. Okay, so let me just restart the server to see if there is any issue. seems good. All right, cool. So let's go back here. All right, so it fails, but I believe it fails because I didn't give any like component to load. All right, so maybe the error message could be a bit better, but who cares? Should be good. So now I'm going to, instead of rendering this view, I'm going to take inertia from here and called inertia.render, right? So this should work a bit better. Cool. Have CSS, and here I should have a few things. All right, cool. So maybe it's too small. Let me zoom in a bit. Can you see it? Yeah. Cool. So inertia will inject a data attribute inside your like a root tag, right? Which is this one here. And what it contains is the component name, props, and the current URL. All right. So currently it's all empty because I passed nothing to my component. But I believe I can use the second argument, and to pass a few things. So here I need to pass the component I want to use. So I want to use pages/home. I can put that up like that. Yeah, cool. And then I can put a few things here, like user and ID 1. And thank you, Zeropian, for the follow. Thank you very much. Cool. So I have GitHub Copilot installed, so we'll see also how it works. But let's continue. So pages/home. So if I create here something like pages, and inside that a home.jsx, then I will import React from React. Here we go. Cool. And here I'm going to export default. Can I change that? What's the default function? Home, right? And this will return, and we're going to return hello world. So div hello world. Save. And alright, so seems that prettier in my stuff. That's weird. So why prettier doesn't format like document? Oh yeah, configure prettier. Good. Alright, good. So let's see here. I should have add some stuff, I believe, right? Let me check. Inertia is pretty good. Yeah, it is. I've been rebuilding Astral with you through Inertia. It's so good. Yeah. I want to discover the new SSR stuff, but Inertia is good on its own. Right. So I believe now I need to follow like a bit of Inertia code. All right. So I'm going to use React. I will need to install the frontend stuff, which is not installed, right? Yeah, so it installed this. Good. And I'm going to copy this inside my main file here. And this is where it's going to be a small pain, probably. Oh, no. I need to modify that. So Adonis use Encore, Symfony Encore to build the assets. And I probably need to enable the JSX parsing stuff. So where is the React one? Okay, there is no React one. So I'm going to type Encore Reacts. Here we go. And let's restart Webpack. So I'm telling Encore that I need to compile React stuff, so meaning JSX, right? I'm going to use that and install the dependencies needed. Should be good. And we run the serve command. Cool. So cannot resolve React DOM. All right. So yeah, I need to install React and React DOM too. But it is kind of obvious. And let's rerun it. Cool. So it compiled. Server is running. There is no error. Let's see. So if I'm coming back now here and hit refresh, I see that I want to display the pages/home component, which is good. So now let's see the Inertia doc. So what's next? So by default, ensuring that you have a root element with an ID of app, which is the case, right? So if you go here, there is an ID app here, and I believe that's what we define inside the configuration. So if I'm going to config Inertia here, there's this view app, right? So I believe that's the same. Cool. So that's good. So we don't need that. Don't need that. Did the resolve callback in app to use import? All right. So I believe I'm using that without noticing it. No, I'm fine. Cool. So do I have any error on the console? Yes, I do. Cannot find module pages/home. All right. So do I need to specify that it's a .gsx name? So pages home. So let me add here .gsx. It compiles again, and I'm going here, hit refresh, and same thing. That's interesting. This one. You know what? Let's try this dynamic import. Maybe it will import differently our code. In fact, let me see in the public folder assets. Oh no, alright, no. I believe that's maybe an issue with Inertia. Well, with Anchor. So if I'm opening the Anchor server, I'm going to pages, home. Alright, doesn't work. If I'm inspecting the head, it's assets. So if I do assets / did it change something? No. Alright, so let me read a bit more here. So this is not an error of Adonis, no Inertia. This is more an error on the how we build the code with Webpack. I believe, I'm guessing. If I'm going to do server-side stuff here, okay, let me refresh. Server-side. Alright, it crashed, whatever. What's the issue here? This loads. Come on, here we go. Alright, boot, blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. And nothing else. Alright, this is all good. So let me see here. Blah blah blah. Inertia render. Alright. Pure data, root helper, redirects. Tunable automatic asset version. You need to tell Inertia what Scrum process. Right? Set up view. So there is nothing else here. Alright. Let me see the issues. seems good. Okay. Alright, so everything seems good. So let me troubleshoot a bit further. So we're all creating an Inertia app. We're telling it to require any file. Let me try to remove the X here. So it's .gs. Let me restart the server and see if it fixes everything. Alright, so refresh, and nope, same error. Cannot find modules. /pages/home, which is here. Alright, you know what? Let's move to this dynamic import and see if it fixes something. The goal here is not to make everything work, but to try out the SSR system. Cool, and let me change the Babel RC, and I believe I can do that here. So if I type Babel, do I have something? Nope. So encall config Babel, and here I have a function. Alright, so what's... Well, in fact, I can use, I believe, the Babel RC file. So let me copy that. Let me go here, .babel RC, paste, save, and restart the server. Cool. Now I need to switch the require statement with an import. Here, import. Add preset React. Alright, okay, so let me go here and add back the presets, like that. Cool. Let's restart it and see how it goes. So server started. Cannot find module preset React. Alright, so let's install it. I hope we're going to make it work. Okay. Wait. Cannot find the plugin preset React. Yeah. What? Does this takes arguments preset React? What's the name of the packages I need to install to make this work? Preset React. Why it tries to load this one? Right, you know what? So let's install that one and see. It will get there, I hope. I truly hope. Same thing. Plugin. Okay, let me remove that and see again how it does. Right, another one. Still tries to load that plugin. But here, there is no plugin on the name. And I disabled the preset here. So there is no reason. If you want to resolve this, alright. Okay. I should read the error messages. Cool. Restart. See how it goes. No error. Alright, that's another one. Plugin is not a valid plugin property. Plugins. Okay. same thing twice. So now let me remove that. Let me configure bubble from here. Configure bubble, right? And okay, why not? No. All right. So what does this do? It takes the bubble config. Bubble config. All right. Why not? Let's push that. Cool. Thank you, Copilot. Let's remove it. And let's run it again. Cool. So what's that now? Plugin preset detected. Wait. Some plugins, some... Wait, did that run it too soon? Let's try again. Nope. Maybe I don't need it at all. Maybe it's already set up. Like, whatever. Let's try it again. Cool. Let's see here. Nope. Alright. Same error. Cannot find model. /pages/home. Alright, so let's search. InertiaJS cannot find model for page. And let's use Google. Yeah, good one. Oh. So let's go here. Let's remove the pages. And have we done everything for nothing? Probably. And it worked. Yeah. All right. Good. Confetti everywhere, right? So let's see what happened here. So we have a page. Yeah, always those little things. Exactly, like I've spent 20 minutes trying to debug this thing, maybe a bit more, for like 5 characters. Alright, whatever. So what happened? So let me change a bit this. Well, let me do a few things. First, let me rename that to GSX. Let me delete all of this. Let me restart the server and see if everything still works. Right, F5, it worked. All right, so let me do some React here. So count and set count. All right, use state and it's going to be 0. Perfect. And then function increment counter. All right, and it will do that. Perfect. Then I'm going to have a fragment here. I'm going to have a span with that and a button that will be called increment with the count. And here will it understand the on click. Yep, nope. All right, cool. So if I'm going here and I'm clicking, let me zoom a bit. All right, so if I'm clicking here, it's a React component, so it will increment the count, right, every time I click. So we have an Adonis backend, and we have the frontend rendered via React, okay? So it's like having React, Vue, Svelte, or whatever being rendered by Adonis being rendered by the browser in a single page application matter, which means I'm all on the client currently. All right, so it works here on my browser, but if I'm looking at the source code, you can see that there is no counter, there is no hello world inside the HTML generated by Adonis. All right, the thing we have here is a data page attribute with the URL, and that's it. So in terms of SEO, this is really bad. Like, it's good to have React. It's not good to have nothing inside the computed HTML, right? Hibbity hobbity, your code is not my property. Exactly. Right. So now there is a way to make those both work. So the SSR world and the CSR world working well together. And that's what we're going to do tonight. But first, I want to do some routing, right? So let's add an inertia link. And I'm going to go here and check out the links. And I'm going to import that. And then I'm going to create a link. That will be, well, let me create components folder with a header.jsx. Export function header. Right, we're going to import React from React and do this thing here, to paste that here, use that, delete, cool. Then here I'm going to return header, yeah, logo, yeah, link to slash, yeah, with home. Right, then we have navigation. Right, no, let's do something real like thank you Copilot, but no UL with a lie, and let me move that inside. So this is it, and then a second one which is about. All right, we're going to have an about page where we go to about. Cool. So if I'm eating about, so let me print the route first. Route get about, okay. And inside this, well, I'm going to copy paste that. We're going to render the about page. So what I'm doing right now is creating the route on the server, okay. So this means it will not duplicate all the stuff. So if you create a single page application and an API, you will need to duplicate a lot of stuff, right? Routing, authentication, authorization, and all those things will need to be duplicated, all right? You will need to handle the course and all this shit, okay? With Inertia, you do everything on the server, and then the protocol made by Inertia will do everything straightforward to swap pages like you will be on the SPA. So here I'm creating the route on the server, alright, but I'm using it on the client. And if I'm creating a new here component called about, alright, copy paste that, and here it will be span with about. Let me remove this two, let's call that about, save, and then let's use the header here, okay, that, and I want that to be imported. All right, so import header from components header, cool. Let's do the same here and display the header. So you will see how it works. So right now here, I've made an error somewhere. ToString T is undefined. Alright, so that it's not 2, it's href. Alright. And here we go. So here, if I click about, you can see that there is no reloading of the page, right? Because the browser is doing the routing. Okay? But the route is handled by the server, okay? Hello BitKid, thanks. Cool, so if we see the network tab now, every time we click a page, Inertia will notice at like the URL, right? So /about, and it will return something like this. So on the slash page, the root page, I have some props that I've defined here. So you could call your database and send it as props. On the about page, I have nothing. I have just a URL and the component it needs to load. Okay, you can notice here, maybe it's a bit small for you. Thank you, Cenobites Offsec, for the follow. You can notice the URL is /about, so if I hit F5, we will be on the about page. Okay. So now I have like React frontend with a frontend routing handled by the backend. Okay, but we still have the same issue on the inspector. Right now, I have my header, I have my content, but if I'm really looking at what's computed by Adonis, we don't have anything. Okay, so let's go and try to add this SSR stuff. So let me go to the documentation and let's follow it. And thank you, BitKit, for the follow. Thank you very much. Cool. So they are creating memory leaks because their example are using Express, but it doesn't matter. Right, so let me read a bit what should be done. Right, so they're creating a route /render. And they're getting the request body render to string. Okay, you know what? Let's do this. So let's go here. So they're creating post route. All right, that will hit render. It will be a thing. All right. And here they are returning some JSON. So let me get the response from the context and use response JSON. And here they are using await create Inertia app. So let's import that. Yeah, I need to install something special. Alright, so I need to use the Laravel's latest. So let's do it again. Like that. Have you used Inertia in production? Nope, not yet. But if the SSR stuff work, I will probably. I know that Laracast website, so it's a Laravel screencast site, use Inertia. So this is using Inertia, right? So we can see there's the same thing, that page. And this is using Inertia, right? So hold on, it's only the beginning. So I love Inertia, I love the concept around it. And I'm trying now to do the server-side rendering with Inertia, so we'll see how it goes. That's not good. In fact, it's telling me that I don't have any export with that name, but I'm following the documentation. So, yeah. Is there anything like, what's it called? Create Inertia app? Nope. What I have here? And there's no error. What happened? Is it the same? Yeah, okay, whatever. If the server run, I'm all good. So let's run the server. Cool. So let's get further. So here we go. So this is awaiting that. here is an object which will have a page with the requests body. Okay. Then the render will use React server. Yep, exactly. Thank you. Let's import that. Alright, so it doesn't find it. This is it. That. Oh. Alright, so I see something that I don't really like. They are putting JSX here. This is JSX. And I don't like that. Are they compiling? But I believe I can use something like React.createElement, right? App. Or something like that, right? So let me import React. Import React from React. Alright? Because I don't want to compile my backend stuff. So we'll remove this. Cool. So is this working? Not create element. Let me check. React create elements. Yeah. Can I have that like official documentation? Maybe here. Yeah, create element. So element props. So let's use app props. Save. Cool. Okay. So what's next? Ploy. What is Ploy? Oh, that's a website. Ploy. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, but this is doing some SSR stuff. You're sure to use Inertia? Maybe it does. Cool. Oh, the panel, right? Yeah. So that's something you can do, in fact. So if you have some parts of your website that is like under authentication, like a panel or like a forum or anything, so you cannot access it publicly, you can render this whole part with Inertia without thinking about SEO. But for marketing page, you will need SEO properly. Like if you're going to Netlify, alright? Here, you can be logged in or not, you will have the login button, alright? Why? Because this page doesn't care if you're logged in or not. If it will care, it will be slower to be rendered, right? Because you will need to check if you logged in or not. Same thing applied for like digital SEO. Okay? So I'm logged in, but I still see the sign in button. Again, if I'm clicking here, alright, he will redirect me to the sign in form or to my dashboard if I'm logged in. Same thing applies here. Click login, and I've been redirected to my dashboard, right? So you could use Adonis, Laravel, Rails, or whatever to render your marketing page with Blade, and use only Inertia to render your dashboard or non-SEO specific stuff. Like here, I can still create a new route called welcome that will render Blade view or edge view since we're using Adonis. It will work well. With the Inertia SSR, you can render everything within SSR, so it's up to you, right? They do it every few months. I've changed. Oh yeah. I believe their front-end team are somehow bored so they need to rebuild their website every time. Cool, whatever. So let me continue with the doc. So I have my thing set up. And let me look what they are doing. So they are using Laravel Mix in their example. All right. There. What? Why? Alright, so we may need to switch to Laravel Mix to make this work. That's not an issue. So we're using Webpack Node externals. Why? So what they are basically doing. Alright, they're doing that. Okay. So they are doing that because they are using JSX inside their node file. We don't need that. Then what they are doing is inside the blade file, which is the template engine for Laravel, they're using a PHP directive to call the render page with all the info. That's so weird. Alright. So let's think about it. So we cannot add like this. Oh, maybe we can. Let me think. So let me close all of that. Cool. Well, in fact, I can show you only this part, right? So that's the doc. You probably maybe just saw the design. Yeah, probably. So that's the doc, right? So here you can see that there is the PHP tag. Well, they can put barebone PHP inside it. I don't believe we have something like that for each, but we have a set tag. So if I'm going here and going to the top, I can use set, and I can set SSR to something. And I can probably do await something, but if I'm using cut, well, it will not work because I don't have cut available, so I need to make that available to my view. But what I can do, alright. So I believe the best will be to modify this render method to know if we are re-rendering or not. If we are not re-rendering, we can do this. Let me try something. So here I will copy paste that. Alright, so that's the page attribute. I'm going to use Insomnia, and let me create a new dashboard. Yeah, good. And a new requests, which is post. Cool. So I'm going here to use JSON that. Alright, this is the one. I'm going to rename that 12.2. Oh, how can I rename it? Hello. Okay. So InertiaJS SSR. So if I correctly guess what we're doing here, I can do render, and I got an error. Right? Page undefined. Okay. page. But what's that? That's interesting. So, do I need only to send that? No. Alright, so undefined. That's way better. That is way better. Cool. So now here. Hello, country bomb. I'm a bit lost. Okay. Do you know what is inertia? Yes. All right. So you know how inertia works, right? So if you're clicking home, about, or whatever, here you are on a frontend application, right? So like on React, or on Vue, or Svelte. Okay. Now the issue with that is SEO, right? Because if you are taking a look at what the page looks like for robots, is an empty div, okay, with nothing. Okay. Cool. So the issue with the inertia is that if you're a robot and having a look at the code of the page, there is nothing. Like if I'm going to Laravel and having a look here, you can see that it is literally empty. Okay. So there's a few props, few stuff like that, but it's not HTML. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is use their new system, which is the server-side rendering stuff, to do a server-side render of my React application, and then to follow up on inertia. Okay? So this will let me have the best of both worlds. So I will still use inertia for everything, and the first hit on my page will be server-side rendered, meaning I will have no SEO issues. Okay? By default, Inertia provides a Laravel and Rails adapter for that. But they need a node server to do this rendering, because when you want to do server-side rendering of React or Vue or anything else, you need Node to do that. And since we are using here Adonis, which is a Node framework, don't need another server to do that. So in their example, they are creating an express server with a route, like I've done here. But I believe we don't need at all to do that, because they are doing that since they need another server. Okay, but inside this render method, and I'm going to open that, we are free to do exactly this. So let me see here. So here there's this render, right? And there's a method which is isInertia. So there's something we need to, well, you need to know that every time we do a request from inertia, there is a header x-inertia, which is true. Okay, if I'm doing a refresh, the first request, okay, that should not happen, but it does. this should not be set, and it should be set for subsequent request. Hi Tina. Hello. Well, whatever. Let's continue and see how it does. So this should tell me if I am in an inertia step or not. So let me do console log is inertia. Do it like that. Save. Let's restart the server. And let me close that. In fact, okay, so false. False, okay. About true, okay. So it is false at the first render, and that's the render I want to be server-side rendering, right? So now let me see where he's in that here. So if it is inertia, he's doing something, right? Otherwise, he's doing the initial page render. And this is where we're going to inject our stuff. Despite the error, the big picture is clear now, thanks. You're welcome. Do not hesitate to ask any question about what I'm doing or anything you have in mind, right? That's a stream where I like to teach people things if I know the answer. So I'm always happy to answer any question. Alright, so let me try to return here this and add that, and let me remove all of this, and let me bring that here. Alright, so it's const react equals require react, and const this equals require this. That one, I hope it is this. We'll see. Okay. So do I have access to the requests? And I do here. So let me restart the server. Alright. Doesn't matter. So first render now has an error. So what's the output of these things? Let's see. Oh, I believe I get it. I believe I get it. So the error now is that he is. So wait. Page. What should be the page thing? Okay. So let me put that here. Right. I did that. That. Well, can't find little pages / about. Yeah, that's normal. So this, so where I am here, I do have access to context and the config. Okay. Okay. So let me use the path model. So const path require path. Here I'm going to use path. And then I need to use the application. Nope. Application but from the standalone version, not that one. So how can I do that? So I need the default path. Well, you know what? I'm not going to think too much about it. So path.join, and I'm going to do that. So we are inside source. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it's resource JS. All right, so let's see how it does. Let's see if it works. That's ugly code, but we'll just see if it works. Cool. Oh yeah. Let's remove that. Cool. 5. And what's the R? Cannot find. Okay, so let's remove 1. Let's see if that's it. We haven't done too much. Same thing. Let's see the complete path. It's not good. So if I do that, what happened? Have resolved this thing. Let's try again. Like, this is try and fail thing. Alright, so let's see. Twitch. Alright, so that's good. So now let's add back this. Let's see how it does. So refresh. Okay, again. Cool. So I believe there's 2S, right? That's it. Nope. So resources GS. So that's the correct path. Nurture resources GS pages and about. So that's the correct path. But it doesn't not know how to enroll GSX. So let me move to GS just to see how it goes, right? 5. Oh. Okay, let me restart everything. What's the error now? Import React. Alright. I get it. So that may be a bit more complicated. That one, what I found. Yeah, module cell. Exactly. So Adonis is running under a common JS module, right? So we are not using yet ESM, as you see here. The thing is, it is trying to load an ESM module, and it doesn't work. Okay, so we got here a syntax error because it doesn't know what is import, and it told us cannot use import statement outside a module, which is normal, I mean, but then it created a bit of mess for us. So yeah, I nearly want, for testing, I nearly want to create like another server to only do the rendering, like they are doing inside their documentation, you know? Like I really want to do that to try it out. And then here, instead of doing it that here, I will simply like fetch an URL, right? Like they are doing here. But there is a difference. So in this case, this HTTP call is done like inside the app.blade.php, and this is rendered only once. Oh, wait, why are they doing that? Why are they using this? I cannot wrap my head around this. So first run, right? They are doing this render stuff, right? If it doesn't work, there is no SSR. If it does work, there is SSR. So I could in fact like return the body of the return of this, right? In the head here, I could do something like that. It's like I could pass here the body and render the body here, like a body variable like that. Well, with free tick, I could do something like that. Remove that, and here an HTTP request to get the HTML. This will remove the module issue we have right now. Okay, let's try to do that. So I'm going to follow their documentation. So I will use Express, but please don't use Express. And I'm going to make a new tier called InertiaJS Server. All right. So let's sit into this and let's add it to our work space. Good. So let's create, let's create a new one. And I call npm init and then install everything we need. So we need Express, React, and we need React DOM, and also this one, and I believe that's it. Then we're going to do that. Oh, and they are compiling their stuff. Thanks Misery Lev for the follow, thank you very much. So yeah, because they are also compiling. Thank you Lewis Likes Dogs for the follow. They're also compiling their server code. Oh, that's alpha, but that's not good. I normally want to not use Adonis and use Laravel to just make it work, you know, like, and be able to see exactly what's generated and what's sent. So let's do this. All right, so we'll let Adonis go for a small time, and we're going to create a Laravel project. So let's go to laravel.com and let's create a new project. So I'm going to use composer install, which is somewhere here. Cool. Let's copy that. Let's go here and let's use the name Laravel Inertia SSR. Cool. So it's a bit dark, well, a bit too light, so let me do. Can I? Oh, hello? Nope. Oh, here we go. Yeah, a bit better, right? Seems good. Isn't the music too loud? Let me move it a bit down. Here we go. Cool. So right now we're going to install a Laravel project to try it out instead of using Adonis, because there is some issue with the module and how they're doing their stuff. So I want to see exactly what happened behind the scene to make it work. And best things to do that is to use, well, what's inside their documentation, right? Cool. So let's get started from the beginning. Sorry. And I'm going to close all this and close this too. And what's this? Trash. Cool. So server side, let's composer install this. Nope. Cool. Then copy that. Go resources, view, blade, place. Done. So app, HTTP kernel, and I need to add the middleware here, right? Cool. And then I'm good to go. So if I'm going to routes, web, here I can return an inertia that and call the render method, right? Yeah. And then I can give it a name like home. Let's do the same thing without anything. Okay, so it's imported correctly here. And inside the resources, I'm going to copy paste the stuff I've done before. So here I'm going to the resources JS, copy that, paste it here, then copy the page and the home, copy that, and paste it here. So pages, home, JSX, paste, save, good. And the header too, so let me copy and paste. Cool. So let's close all of this, and theoretically I need to rename that app. And now if I'm running PHP artisan server is running, and if I go to application, so localhosts, and it was 8,000 I believe. Good. And I need to run Laravel mix. Cool. So let's do it again. npm install. Yep. And then I need to use the dev. npm run dev. Cool. Do I have installed? Nope. So I'll also need to install all the client-side stuff, which is this. So remove that. npm install react DOM, and this. Cool. Run dev. Cool. What's your preset? Okay, so let's go here, and here I need to add the React stuff. like that, right? Do it again. Okay. Hey, let's do it. Cool. Seems to build. Cool. Seems good. And if I'm going here, I have the same thing working. Cool. Cool. Yeah. So the up-out doesn't work because we don't have the route. So let's do this right now. So I'm going to create a root get / about, and I believe I can lift that out, and I can use a fat arrow to use inertia render about, right? And let's do the same thing here. Boom. Cool. And then let's copy paste what I've done here. So resources, JavaScript pages, and about copy. And let's paste it here. Pages, paste, and let's rename it with the X. Cool. So 5 about home about. All right, let's rerun that. Even I will use the watch command, so it will recompile on the fly. Cool. 5 about home about home about home. Cool. So same thing. It worked. And now we're going to do the SSR stuff, right? So I have another project here, which is the InertiaJS server, and I believe that one is in. Cool. And I believe they are doing it inside the same stuff. Yeah, they are doing that inside the same stuff. So I don't need a new project. Cool. So we close that and create a new one here. Let me ensure that we have the latest version. And I should probably try out React at some point. I've been using Vue for years. It just clicked with me. Well, I'm using Vue all the day. I prefer Vue for any front-end stuff. So I'm with you. I'm just using React because that's the first documentation they have available for these SSR things. But yeah, at the end, it is front-end stuff. So it's the same concept, the same architecture, and you can transfer nearly all of your knowledge around, right? There's some specificities between those, but at the end they are the same. I switched to Svelte. Yeah, so if you switch to Svelte from React, it is good, very good, but there is no real point to switch to Svelte if you're coming from Vue, because it's literally nearly the same. I like Svelte, right? But the ecosystem is a bit too small, I believe, when you compare it to other. But SvelteKit is good stuff. But again, you need to know if you need to use SvelteKit or not. Like, do you need SvelteKit, or Inertia with SSR will fit your need? So yeah, that's things you need to keep in mind. Okay, whatever. So what's this? Blah blah blah. Alright, so let's go ahead. They install express inside their Laravel application. Well, SvelteKit is not overkill. Could be very useful, but it all depends again. Like, let's think of a portfolio, right? Should be statically generated. Or let's think of Netlify. Okay, let's take for example Netlify, right? So Netlify. This page could be 100% server-side generated, like static. Like, you don't need to do anything on the front end or on the server, right? Could be cached on Cloudflare or wherever you want. But this page, the dashboard, shouldn't be, alright? Because it's custom data, right? So SvelteKit or Next or maybe next now, allow you to define per page what type of render do you want. Like, do you want it to be fully client-side rendered? Do you want it to be pre-generated on the build, so server-side generated? Do you want it to be fully server-side rendered, meaning like the server will render the HTML? And this can be useful for some project. And thank you very much, Black Plasma, for the follow. So yeah, it all depends. Like, normally every question is like all depends, but yeah. And hello. Thank you, Master Singe. All right, so let's keep it up. So I've installed Express. All right, don't do that, remember. Use Fastify. And let's then create the SSR or whatever. So here you go. .javascript. And inside that, let me copy paste like boom. All right, good. Now I need to install this and do this and do, oh yeah, that touch doesn't work on Windows, so webpack.ssr.mix.js, and let's do this too. Good. Cool. So I need to do the same thing here. So, well, whoa. Let's close that. Cool. So let's go there and do this and do this. Cool. Then let's update this to this and see if it works. Content qu'il soit mis à l'anglais. Why? So he's telling us that he's happy that I'm speaking in English. Okay. Alright, so everything is compiled. So on the public, I should have on JavaScript nothing, which is not correct. So let's restart Webpack since I have another manifest file and doesn't work. Do I need to change anything? So merge manifest, that's correct. Oh yeah, I forget to install something. So let's install also this. Nope. This. Cool. And run this again. So the goal is to have the, nope. Let's see this. Nope. So it should mix the manifest of both files. Right. So it compiles the SSR file to the public folder here, but it doesn't. Okay. So I get it. So I need to run another command, which is that, what, which is that one. So it tells Mex to run both. Right, so we have both running, and I have here the SSR file, right, which is compile, which is weird, but whatever. And now I should be able to run the server like that, Right. So now I'm going back here. So I need F5, it worked. But if I'm going to the view code, it is server-side rendered. Cool. So as you can see here, I have the HTML, right? And it worked. So that documentation worked, but it needs a bit of adaptation if you want to make it work with other stuff. Like it doesn't even work with Rails right now. It is only working with Laravel. But it worked. Cool. So let's see now what's provided inside. Let me go to the template. Here and see what's the content of SSR. So if I'm dumping, can I use dd SSR and hit fresh? Cool. And hit refresh. Nope. Oh yeah, because I'm already inside. Yep, here we go. 5. So I have the head and the body tag. So the body is the generated stuff, right? Good. Now if I'm going to my Express file here and I'm logging the request body, what's inside that? Let's restart the server. 5. Oh, I need to recompile it. 5. Right, so I have what I thought I will have. So the request body has what's inside the data attribute. Okay, so that's a good thing. Now we need to figure out how oh, I get it. Wait. So what's... So this is the compiled code of the server. And the compiled code of the server, those have the React code. See? This is it. So it has compiled my code to an application. This is ugly, but it worked. Interesting. This is why they are compiling their stuff. They are not doing on the fly. And they don't have any error about like models. That's interesting. That's the header. That's the mapping of this to this, right? But it worked. Cool. So here I'm on the React application. So I can use... So what would you want to use that, right? So to have all the power of a front-end framework, like React, like Vue, like Svelte, like here, I'm using React, right? So you have all the power of that. But you also have all the power of a backend framework. Okay, meaning here, like in the root files, instead of creating an API, you can use Eloquent or Lucid to the query to your database and render it as props. Let's say here I have a user. I have a user, all right, but we'll have an ID of 1. Okay, meaning here as props, I should have the user. and I should be able to say hello user dot name. Let's go like that. Let's save and put name to Roman length. Save. Let's compile the code again. And let's rerun that. Here. Oh, interesting. So, was it too fast? That's interesting. So it has the props, but still show hello world. It's interesting. Why that? I don't know. What's the outputted content here? So if I'm going here, it says hello Romelans. Alright, so the SSR stuff work, but I believe there's some cache issues. So let's go to the where are these settings, and let's disable cache. It's not disabled, but it is disable, right? Yes. Cool, but let's disable JavaScript. See? Button doesn't work, but the site still work. Let's enable JavaScript again. I have frontend. Thanks. Cool. Frontend routing, everything work as expected. There's just this little thing that keeps being the wrong output, which is weird. So let's try to compile again. Compile again. Oh no, I know why. Because I need to compile it twice like that, right? Cool. So now let's do it again. So here we go. So you could, well, you are able to use Eloquent inside your backend framework, or Lucid if you're using Adonis. All right. Do all the routing inside your backend framework. Do all the authentication and authorization inside your backend framework. All the query inside the backend framework, so don't deal at all with API, and then render something like that, like you would render a view using Laravel or Adonis. But then in the end, you have React, and it worked. That's so good, because React also offers you all the tooling. That is so good. So what's the payload size? That's a lot. But then per page, it's quite small. Does it fetch it every time? No. Keep it cache. That's so good. So I could have now a global store, and when I go to about, then home, it will still be here. Like if I'm going to Laracast, I believe he built something like YouTube, you know? Like if I'm going here, playing a video like that one, cool. And then I'm going to discussion. Nope, doesn't work.
Before we dig into the nuts and bolts of
nope, right? About he did that.
Laravel.
Nope. Yeah, I thought he put like the viewer, well, the video player, you know, like at the bottom, like where you can still visit the website. I believe he told that in his podcast, but whatever. But you have like a full SPA available. Hey Grayscale, what is Webpack? So Webpack is a bundler. Alright, so it means it will take different resources like JavaScript, styles, like CSS, or even Sass, or even stylus, or whatever you're using for the CSS, and it will also take all your images and build them together to create like an app at the end. So to give you an example, when you writing JavaScript, right, you are writing JavaScript okay? But what happens if inside your JavaScript file you are importing another format? Like right now, this file is a GSX file. It's not like JavaScript, it's GSX, right? Because I'm writing GSX here, and this is not valid JavaScript. So Webpack offers you an API to add loaders. So you can tell Webpack that if you find a GS or GSX file, you will parse this file via this system. And it will load the file and compile it and do a bunch of things to it. Same thing for CSS. So if I'm going to my roots file here, you can see that I am importing CSS from a JavaScript file, which is a nonsense. It will not work. But Webpack knows that .css file need to be loaded in a certain way and be then processed in a certain way, right? So Webpack will load the file internally, process it whatever he wants, and then output another file. So if I'm going to my public, I'm telling Webpack to take this file and put it inside the CSS module folder here, and inside the CSS folder, which is empty, well, file which is empty, whatever. But it will like take all those rules, then it will give it an entry point, which is your app entry point, and bundle everything together. Like if I was putting inside my CSS file here, like inside the body tag, the background images, right, with an URL, which is something like images something.png, I'm telling Webpack to load a PNG file, and then you can add a bunch of processing stuff to it, like you will scale down the resolution, maybe lower the quality, and Webpack will remap, well, rewrite that to make it work with your setup. And yeah, I believe that's all I can say about Webpack. So if I'm saving here and trying to compile, he will complain that this is not found. And he did that here. He cannot resolve the images I've defined here because he is trying to go to the folder images and trying to find something.png, right? So if I'm creating a new file inside images, something.png here, right? Which is not the correct images, so I don't know if it worked. Let's see. And now you can see that it has understand that. So he has moved my images inside images, something, right? So he moved it. And if I'm going to my app.css now, the compiled one, you can see that it has been rewritten to match what's being outputted here, right? Yes, so you can still have multiple files. If you see here, I have one file for my page about and one file for my page home, okay? I have one main file, but I still have a small file per page, but you don't handle that at all. Okay, to give you another example, so let me show you some stuff I'm working on every day. So this is a Vue application, okay? And it's coded like that. So let me go to the Vue 3 branch. So this is the entry point. This is what will be loaded by Webpack, and then processed by Webpack. So you can see I'm loading a bunch of stuff, right? I'm doing a bunch of things. And then if you're going to the app folder, I have a bunch of different folder, right? So if I'm going to posts here to view, and then I have a bunch of other files, right? I'm doing a bunch of things, blah, 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 blah. And here I have my Vue stuff. So I'm coding like that, but in the end, Webpack will take all of this JavaScript, all those library, because I'm importing external library like that, or like Xstate, all my images, all my CSS, and all those things, and it will create a bundle which is optimized. Like let's say this element is imported in 3 different pages, Webpack will know that and will make it as a separated file that those 3 other pages will load to avoid having duplicated stuff between your JavaScript file. And this is all done by Webpack. You have nothing to do, right? So it helps you to, I believe that's webpack.org, but nope, that's some scammy website. So maybe there's like a few examples here. So you have one JavaScript file, which is the entry point, when you're loading a bunch of other things, right? Webpack will bundle it and will provide like static assets at the end, which is processed by loaders and modifiers that will transform everything. Hope it makes sense. Maybe it's a bit like, if you never used it, it can be like if using gulp, something like that, you are merging files together. This is doing the same but better, right? In our case, we are bundling. Let me delete what I've done here. We are only bundling GSX, right? So this, which is not JavaScript, this is GSX. So this is why we need Webpack. Yeah, hope it makes sense. Cool. So we are under 2 hours. I have not been able to make this work with Adonis right now. I will need to do a few research, but that was a great thing. That's a great thing, because if it works with Adonis, man, it will just be a killer feature. Like you will be able to build a website with Adonis and React, Svelte, Vue, or whatever, with SSR and iteration on the client. That's so good. That's fantastic. Oh, that's the future, mate. Nice background. What background? Like this? No, this is code. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, once it will be out of preview, it will be good. Like it works currently with Laravel. It doesn't work with Rails, doesn't work with Adonis yet. It is good. Oh, that. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So we are under 2 hours. Today is a short stream. I don't know when I will be able to stream again. Maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. And I'm not sure if I will do my streaming in English or if I will do it in French later on. Well, we'll see. I will tweet about it. Cool. So I wanted to thank everyone for following the stream. This stream will be available on YouTube, right? Thank you, Alexandre. Thank you for the subs. So this stream will be available on my YouTube channel. Well, it will be available on Twitch for 14 days. Then it will be posted to YouTube. All right, so if you missed it, you will find it there. And yeah, I hope to make Adonis and Inertia work well together. Well, it worked well, but I hope the server-side stuff will be able to work soon, because I may use that for a project. That's so good. Yeah, cool. Follow you on Twitter. Yeah, follow me on Twitter. Thank you for the follow. Follow me on Twitter. Sub to the Twitch channel, or follow it, and follow the YouTube channel too, so you will be notified for any stream or any new video coming out. I'll plan to do bunch of tutorial on Adonis and other stuff on my YouTube channel. It will be in French and English, so be sure to follow it. Whatever, that was my shameless plug. I will catch you probably tomorrow, I don't know. But thanks for watching and see you next time. Ciao.